Yates are back. Great start through the Magic Hour. Recipe Palladium, Malungo Magic. Beats
It's Tambo's Heart though. Tambo's Heart in front. Who's got plenty of heart, Tambo's. And Tambo's Heart goes on to win. Hot Shot Harry will get there. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to On The Bit Racing Australia. We're having a look at what was a bumper weekend. Of course, we went to Emerald Friday. We had Cairns on Sunday and another 2 rounds of the Country Cups Challenge heats and the Stampede as well. Joining me, my good friend Scotty Power. How's those excitement levels after Emerald? What a meeting it was.
Hey, thanks, Chargy. Good evening to you and good evening, everyone. Terrific days racing up there for the heats up there, the meeting on Friday at Emerald, and some great racing in Cairns on Sunday, but particularly with the Emerald one we're going to have a look at first. I thought there were some terrific finishes in both heats, both the Country Cups and also the Stampede. And in the Stampede particular, like with the speed battle I had early and the finish at the end, like there was about only a length and a half between the first 5 or 6 runners, and a terrific finish to end the great days racing up there, Chargy.
It was a great day, and the club did a sterling job prepping that track under very dry conditions. It had a good cover of grass on it. But look, before we really sink our teeth into Emerald and what transpired there, we've got a little bit of breaking news, Scotty, starting to happen, and we thought this might happen. We're starting to now see horses that may or may not go to the Stampede, may or may not go to the Country Cups Challenge. And just in regards to the Stampede, the question mark I've got at the moment is, of course, for the Corey and Kylie Guerin runner in Tapper. Based on the information that I've got, I believe he's got to have one more country non-tab or country tab start to be eligible for the final of the Stampede.
Yeah, gee, that's interesting news, that, Chargy, because Tapper was a pretty impressive winner, and we know he's going to be right up there if he gets a start. So I guess the connections and also the trainer will be like trying to eyeball something that's going to be, spaced out enough to keep it in line with that 1110 final on December the 5th at Doomben.
Yeah, and the news doesn't stop there. This is a bit of a sensation confirmed. We had whispers of it, but it was confirmed to me today that what would have been the favourite for the Country Cups Challenge, or I think he would have been the favourite, Deadly Choices for Damien Finter, is out. He won't be heading to Doomben for the Country Cups Challenge. So he's a little bit sore. He's got a few little issues around the joints, but nothing serious, Scotty, I believe. It just constitutes probably 3 months off. So, which is a shame for Connections. I'm pretty sure he would have started favourite. And I'll tell you what, Joshy Fleming, he'll be licking his lips with Eshiel now waiting, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely, Chargy. And yeah, I just feel for the Connections because I know the thinking they've got with Deadly Choices, and they hold him in great regard, and just to look after the horse, I take my hat off to them, and like we know he would have been favourite, I guess, for sure, and Dan Ballard would have been taking the ride, but yeah, unfortunately, as you said, Deadly Choices won't be going, and he'll have a break, and I'm pretty sure he'll bounce back, Deadly Choices, because that was a terrific run under the 66.5 Lace Lake in Townsville. But my thoughts are with the Connections, but yeah, hopefully we'll see Deadly Choices back racing. And as you said, Josh and the Connections of Eshiel are now licking their lips because Danny Ballard will now take the ride. They have Brad Stewart on standby for Eshiel, but Dan Ballard has been confirmed that I guess will be the rider for Eshiel, and I think he'll go down and ride Eshiel in the Roma Cup this weekend, and then he'll back up and ride him in the Country Cups final on December the 5th.
Yeah, and our thoughts to Damien and all the team with Deadly Choices. They've done the right thing. He's such a great horse, isn't he? And he'll be back bigger, better than ever. And, of course, that means that Loud Enough, who ran second to him in Mount Isa, now qualifies to go to Doomben for Stephen Royce. So he doesn't mind travelling, Steve, so he'll be keen to go for sure.
Yeah, congratulations to Steve on getting a gig on default. But yeah, Loud Enough, as we've seen, he's been tracked around and to the Northern Cups as well. And that was a great finish. In fact, with Deadly Choices that day when they did fight to finish out in the Mount Isa heat, Deadly Choices just edging out Loud Enough. But now, if Deadly Choices not going to Doomben, that Loud Enough now gets the jersey and gets the float trip down there, mate.
Yeah, so it's all starting to take shape, and plenty more to come. I guess as the jostling begins, we may start to hear some things. People may or may not be going. Yeah, so we'll try and dissect whatever information we can on that, because people would love to know, I suppose, if they've run second or third, that there's a chance they're going to go.
Yeah, that's right. We've been saying like week in, week out, Chargy, that if they haven't won a heat, don't, just be a little bit patient. Unfortunately, that sort of thing can happen, with horses and with racing. People involved with racing know there is good things and there is bad things. The good and bad of racing is there, and you can see that. And yeah, if they run second or third, don't be disillusioned. You may get a run. That's how things are going to pan out.
Yes, exactly right. Now let's have a look at Emerald on Friday, Scotty. Weather was warm, a few storms built during the afternoon, but as I said, the club did a sterling job presenting that track. Look, I was there in March, and the work that's been done on that course proper between March and Friday, outstanding. They've done a top job with that grass cover, and it raced really well, didn't it?
Yeah, it raced tremendous. And, as you said, take our hats off to the small band of workers they've got up there. They've worked hard to get it back racing, and a lot of work went in there. And, Warren Williams has chimed in to give the club a bit of assistance as well from Brisbane. And, that work that went in, a lot of watering and, to try and get that bare patches back in play with grass growing. And, they got a little bit of rain there last week, but other than that, it's been very, very warm conditions. It was a good fall. It was pretty hard to track, but still had a good coverage there, Chargy, as we've seen when we went for a bit of a walk on the track. There's some good grass coverage there, and it was in good nick too. So, great to see. And, my hats off to the animal committee.
Yeah, and we didn't walk far because you didn't bring a beer. So we had to pull up stumps at about 200, I think. But let's get serious. Let's talk about the Country Stampede out there on Friday. Really good race, massive field, some great runners there, Scotty. Your call was spot on. Zukaz, how good's he going?
He's going tremendous. As we know, Chargy, Zukaz has already qualified when winning the Cloncurry. He defeated Wicked Express up there, and Nathan Day, he rode him to perfection. Like, he drew near the outside gate, got across with some cover, and you could see him making a move at about the 700 to sort of track into the race, because there's a lot of speed on early, as we've seen with, tremendous speed it was early. And, you've seen the time they did run with Shigeru Mahogany and Co up near the lead. And, Zukaz just smoked his pipe back in the field, and Nathan Day. And, I gave him a bit of a rap, Grubby, when he came back, because I thought it was an absolute 10 out of 10 ride, because he brought Zukaz with a well-timed run after Awanichi had a good run in behind the speed and went back to the inside. And then Palladium, who was back last, and you and I spoke earlier in the day that possibly if you stayed on the inside, that it could be a better run for you, instead of coming to the outside to run home. And Palladium did that and rattled home to get third spot in front of Shigeru Mahogany. But congratulations to Boy Foster. They won the heat, but they've already qualified, as we know, and a tremendous ride to Nathan Day. Awanichi, who finished second. Now, I'm not sure how things are going to pan out there, because Awanichi, as we know, has only had the one country run, which was on last Friday in the Stampede heat. So he'll need possibly two more if he's going to qualify for the final. And then you've got Palladium, who finished in third spot. If he gets the nod, he's qualified. So, funnily enough, if you run third in the heat, and you possibly could get a run in the final.
Yeah, well, and the Campio boys, they've been keen to qualify too. So, it'd be a great thrill for them to qualify Palladium. As you say, Awanichi could be a big ask. He's got to get two country tabs or two country non-tab runs in before the 5th of December to qualify. So, or to be eligible. So it could be a sensation. Palladium, who ran third, may get the gig out of Emerald, and what a race it was. And Scotty, onto the Country Cups Challenge qualifier out there. We were both very keen on Pro-Am, and Tracy Simmons was as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs when she heard we both tipped it, but we didn't let her down, did we?
No, we didn't let her down, and Tracy's trained to do a nicety to have a, prime for this, particularly for the final. That was 3 runs in before the Friday run, and raced well at the track before Pro-Am. It's run in the Rockhampton Cup this year, was sensational. A lot of speed on in the race on Friday, with Ageno Perlo setting up a pretty good tempo. And then you had Twin Spear and Leduc. They sat back second and third, and then Leduc made a run on the corner when Argento Perlo came back to them. Got a bit of a lead when they straightened up, but then you could see Pro-Am come to the outside, and Sonia Wiseman brought him with a well-timed run down the outside and grabbed Leduc, and Twin Spear battled on very well in third spot to Bob Oldfastnet out of third, and he finished in fourth. But yeah, a great finish to the Country Cup qualifier at Emerald on Friday. Yeah,
of course. I know you would have been part cheering inside when Leduc stormed up, and he sort of had the race won, didn't he? But Sonia just had that really well-timed run on Pro-Am and had clear air, and he just finished too good for Leduc. But he didn't lose any heart in the run, Leduc, Scotty. And as we've been saying, don't despair. You might be going to Doomben yet.
Yeah, no, we'll just keep our fingers crossed, Chargy. You just never know what could happen. But, you know, he was a very consistent run. But Pro-Am a lot more solid over that further journey because Leduc, he sort of won't settle as much in them longer races. But Ellie done a great job to get him to settle a bit under it, sitting outside Twin Spear in second and third spot after that good tempo was set. But, yeah, no, Pro-Am, full credit to the Tracy Simmons trained galloper, and congratulations to the Connections. They travelled down to Doomben for the Country Cup on December the 5th.
Yeah, well, that wraps up the Emerald meeting, Scotty. And again, just congratulations to all. Well called during the day. Well done to the club, and well done to all the Connections who supported the meeting and who qualified for the Stampede and the Country Cups Challenge. So that's a look at Emerald. Scotty, we're going to take a short break. But before we take a break, was lucky enough to catch up with Steve. We call him Boogie Massingham up in Townsville the other week to touch on that really good North Queenslander that we all love, the Harrovian. So before we go to a break, here's an update from Steve on that mighty horse, the Harrovian. And we'll be back with Ken straight after.
Well, here he is. On the Bit Racing Australia exclusive with Steve Massingham talking about the Harrovians. Steve, firstly, tell us about this horse. How did you get him? It's a great story, isn't it?
Yeah, Michael, actually I was on holidays in Canada, I think, and my brother rang and said, oh, there's a horse there in Victoria we're going to buy. And I said, at the time, I said, we need a horse like a hole in there at the moment, mate. I said, we got plenty. He said, oh, no, I've spoken to Tom and we'll buy this fellow. So we bought him, and he got sick on the way up from Victoria and Brisbane at Les Rudd's, and they didn't think he was going to survive a couple of hours, and he survived. And through Tom, the vet rang me and wanted to give him some plasma, 10 litres of plasma at $400 a litre, and I said, oh, look, don't really need to be wasting $4,000 if he's going to die, love, you know. And she diverted past me and rang Tom, and Tom just said, do what you got to do. So most probably saved his life, and he went to Kilto Park for a little break, went after he sort of was at the vet for about 7 weeks, and then he went up to the farm at Tolga, and we brought him in and sort of was just poking along with him, and he didn't show that much, and give him a jump out at home one Tuesday morning, I think it was, and he reared up in the gates, and Freddie Whelan was giving us a hand, smashed Freddie's watch, and Freddie was blowing up, and he trialled, and he most probably come into the corner if he wasn't 10 lengths off him, and I thought, geez, he'll want to go a bit better than this. Well, the young fella gave him 2 slaps with the stick, and he went straight past him in the jump out, and I thought, maybe this does go good. And he won his first start, and then he come to Townsville and got beaten in Open. He was actually in a Cairns race on the Saturday or the Sunday, and it got washed out a heavy track, so I dropped him as a Class 4 horse in an open here, and French Hustler beat him. Nathan Day got off that day and said to me, mate, this will win every cup in North Queensland, and he said, you can book me now. And I said, oh, you need to jump in line. I said, he ain't your ride. And it was sort of Chris's ride at the time, and then he come out and he won his next few, and then he got beaten the North Queensland Cup, and he just got beat a nose, and from then on he's won 9 straight, and it's been a fairy tale ride, I can tell you.
Did you buy Freddie a Rolex?
Yeah, well, Freddie said the watch we did break was a Rolex, and I said, oh, well, at the time I said, we can't afford a Rolex, he's not that good, so, but yeah, we could mostly get one now.
Well, what a story he's been, and a revelation in the north. Of course, he's now in the Edmonds camp. You've still got your finger on the pulse with him down in the Gold Coast, Brisbane.
Yeah. We took him down ourselves and run him the first time, and still in my name at the stage. And he ran for Toby looked after him the month we were away. I went down once in between and had a look at him, and the horse looked $1 million. And his run the other day was, a lot of people will say it wasn't as good, you know, he only just fell in. But we rode him upside down, you know, that's not his go to sit outside the leader. He had 59, the second horse had 54. It was a strong headwind, you know, so he done a lot of work outside the leader, and Brad just sort of rode him like he was the best horse, which was good. And, you know, and he won, and Brad said it still wouldn't have mattered. They wouldn't have beat him if they went another 100 metres, he told me. So we'll give him a little break. He's in the paddock at the moment. I think Toby's going to pick him up tomorrow. And at this stage, we're going to go to the Burnborough, which is a wild card into the millions if we can win it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't, we'll just find him a race. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he doesn't win anymore. He's got nothing to prove. So.
Well, they doubted the form in North Queensland when he first went down, and they said, well, let's have a look at him, but I don't think they're doubting anymore.
No, even just the 2 weeks being at the Gold Coast and everywhere you went, they were all talking about him. Oh, that's that horse from North Queensland. I said, yeah, mate, that's him. I said, oh, you know, he's got it. And, you know, I was not doubtful, but, you know, it's in the back of your mind, is he going to be up to that grade? Which he proved he was. Well, Desert Lord, he beat Desert Lord the first up. Well, he came out and won there last Saturday. And so, yeah, no, he's up to that grade. And, you know, he's got to take the next step now to listed grade. And but I don't have any doubt as he steps up, he can step up to the plate, I think.
Well, Steve, it's a privilege to talk to you on the Bit Racing Australia, and we can't wait for the end of December to see the Big H back down, showing them how good he is.
Yeah, no, be good.
Thanks, mate.
It's a long wait, but we'll just have to wait.
On the Bit is proudly supported by Manuplex, creating a more productive future for Australian mining.
We do it all. 1-800-4-PLUMBER. Plumber to your door. Bathroom, kitchens, renovations, roof repairs and installations with clear communications. Plumber to your door. 24/7 will be right there. Emergency service on repair. For water and gas, we do it all. Just call for plumber to your door. 1-800-4-PLUMBER. Plumber to your door.
Well, welcome everyone back to our segment 2 of On the Bit Racing Australia. Our look at what was a massive weekend, Emerald, and that was Friday, Scotty. We moved to Cairns on Sunday, and really, really warm conditions up in Cairns. But it was great to be back in Cairns because they've done a lot of renovation work on that track, a lot of drainage work. First meeting back, and the weather, 33 degrees, 80% humidity. I ditched the tyre very early on in the piece, Scotty.
I bet you did, mate, up there. And full credit to you, mate, for the mileage that you travelled to get up there. And, yeah, congratulations to that Cairns club. I know that, you know, they've had a few issues with that track, I know, over the years. But to see the work that's gone in there, mate, and the terrific racing that occurred there on Sunday was unbelievable. And the pace that was set in the Stampede was unbelievable. And then we've seen a great finish in the Cup qualifier as well. Yeah, no, a great racing day up there on Sunday at Cairns.
Yeah, it was too. And the Stampede, as you said, what a cracking race. There was always going to be speed galore in the race with Burrard, Hidden in Heaven and the likes. And look, it played out that way. There were some gutsy runs in it. Hidden in Heaven with that big weight of 62 kilos. She was brave. But Burrard, he was just too strong late. And geez, an improved horse, this Burrard. He's one of the most improved horses I've seen in North Queensland, Scotty. And also special mention Desert Cowboy finishing off well to run third.
Yeah, it sort of panned out how we thought, Chargy, with Hidden in Heaven drawing 6 and Burrard 5. And and Ryan Wiggins booted Barat out to be inside Hidden in Heaven. After they went a couple of 100 metres, he got across to the rail, and then Hidden in Heaven was ridden with urgency to get across and actually lead. So that gave Barat the option. Then he took the sit on Hidden in Heaven, and Desert Cowboy and Co were sort of back off that speed battle. But yeah, no, when he pulled Barat to the outside, that last 150 metres of the race, gee, I like the way he hit the line, and Janelle Ryan will be very, very happy with that win. And Desert Cowboy, as you said, he rattled home to get third spot. But no, full credit to the winner, Barat. And yeah, Hidden in Heaven was strong in finishing second, mate, because he did a lot of that hard work, as you said, with the big weight, and Barat with Wiggins in the saddle, sat off that speed, come to the outside and run past Hidden in Heaven at the 100 and won pretty easily in the end.
Yeah, it was a nice ride, Ryan Wiggins, and as you said, well trained by the Ryans, and they've really got this horse firing. And I'd be surprised if they don't go down to Brisbane. So I'm going to make a few calls during the week to see what's happening. But I know Chrissy Jorgensen, he'd be very keen to go down for sure. And the horse is just going so well. I reckon he's in the best form I've seen for a long time, Barat. So well done to them. And of course, that then took us to the Cup. And what a race it was, Scotty. We were looking for horses like, Tambo's Heart with the big weight and the likes. But what about this horse? Alex Malaf has done an outstanding job, Axe we call him, with Penny Agua. Of course, he won the Mackay Guineas, he won the Townsville Guineas, he won the Cairns Cup. He went out for a break. I was happy to say that he might need the run, but gee whiz, what a finish.
What a finish, what a training effort. Great ride by Bonnie Thompson, Penny Agua. 1,400 metres was no problem whatsoever, and he keeps that picket fence in line now, Chargy. It's lining right up. He's qualified. He's qualified for the final, Penny Agua, as a second galloper, Mercurio. It was a very good run and finishing in second spot. And then you've got finishing in third spot, Tambo's Heart. He's already qualified for the Country Stampede. So he started in the Cup qualifier. They were going to hedge their bets, as we thought. But yeah, no, full credit to the winner, Penny Agua. I'll tell you what, on that run, the first and second horses out of the Cairns heat, Chargy, I think they'll play a big hand in the final on December the 5th.
Yeah, 100%. I look, Penny Agua, he just continues to jump over the bar. The bar is raised tenfold every start, and he just leaps it. And, that was a very good field, and he was so good late. He's just going really well, this horse. And I know the big fella, Alex, he'll be there. He'll be down in Brisbane, and he'll be cock a hoop. He'll give them some down at Doomben. Don't worry about that. And Mercurio, yeah, really good run, wasn't it? He's going to be strong at the end of the mile for sure, because that was 1,400. He'll relish getting the mile at least. He's probably looking for 2,000 metres. I think Charlie de Villa would hope it was 2,000, the final, but it's not. It's only the 16:15. So, yeah, what a race it's shaping with out of the result of that one on Sunday, Scotty.
Yeah, and that was sort of heat number 15, and we've got one more heat to go, but like we've seen some, like different horses bobbing up now to make the final, and it's sort of going to make it hard to dissect it and narrow one or two down, because I think there's a lot of chances in the race, as you know, Chargy. And yeah, when we see that final field, it'll be pretty hard to select one.
Yeah, and I think things like barriers are going to be very important too there at Doomben around the mile. And, with Deadly Choices out, a lot of people would have been very keen to say, look, well, he's been there, he's done it. Now you're seeing all these horses on the way up, like Mercurio, Penny Agua, of course, Eshiel, Valente. What a Country Cups Challenge final it's going to be. It's going to be a beauty. I think it'll be the race of the day down there at Doomben. I know there's plenty others on, but it'll be the best. Yeah,
exactly. It's sort of George Moore Stakes Day, and we've got the Country Stampede finals and Country Cups finals. So yeah, like a lot of interest, like throughout the state and possibly Australia-wide, Chargy, for that weekend of racing down there.
Yeah, there is. And of course, as you mentioned, we've got one more to go. So we've got Roma coming up this weekend with the Roma Cup. And of course, also there's a good sprint out there over the 1,000 last chance qualifier for the Stampede final. So we'll have a look at those fields on sort of Thursday into Friday, Scotty, and try and dissect and find a winner as we summarise what's going to happen. So that's a wrap up out of Emerald and Cairns. Thanks, Scotty. It's been a great show, and getting really excited now. We're getting down to the real business end.
Hey, thanks, Chargy. And, once again, a privilege, mate. And I think there's going to be some big nominations for that Roma Cup. and Stampede qualify down there at Roma this weekend. We know it's a tremendous day's racing, full TAB coverage, and all the best to them down there, and good luck to everyone who's trying to qualify.
Yes, and that's a wrap up of our show tonight. Thank you, Scotty, and thanks everyone for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you later in the week with our look at Roma. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, mate.